This is the 2024 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Beer Experiment, Fruited American Wheat. Thanks to our sponsors. 5 Star Chemicals. Check out the interactive cleaning guides and learn more about their newest product, Liquid PBW, on their official website, www.5starchemicals.com. Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store. Beer and Wine has one of the biggest yeast selections around and boasts an extensive list of homebrew beer kits to make clones of some of your favorite beers. Check them out at www.beer-wine.com and tell them Brewtubers sent you in the order comment box. Let's get sipping.
Welcome to Irondale Brewing. This is my first review of the 2024 Brewtubers Experiment Beer. This is my first year as a member of the club, first year participating. They do this every year where they take a base recipe. Everybody brews the same base recipe and there's some variant between each person who participates. This year everybody brewed an American wheat and we all added strawberry in different ways. And the way I added strawberry is with True Citrus Crystallized Strawberry. And before I crack this thing open, which is what this is for because that cap is on there super tight, maybe PET bottles is another thing I'll change in the future. But if the adage that you save the best for last is true, and the inverse is also true, I should definitely be starting with my own. But we'll talk more about it. So this has been in the bottle since early July. It's early September now. So we will see how this fares if I can get the cap off. I tried a couple of other methods that didn't work so well. And this one may not be big enough. This bigger. And I guess I've already trashed the cap. That's fine. I'm not planning on using these anymore. Oh, and I will say also, this is the batch, if you watched my video on learning how to use my counter pressure bottle filler, this is the batch I was bottling. I ran out because there was a lot of waste and it was only a 2.5 gallon batch. And so this fill is not great. It only comes up to about there, but we'll see what's going on in the bottle here. If I can even get it open. All right, so a little bit of a hiss. All right, a little bit of a hiss. We got some carbonation, maybe. All right, so cap is off. I like these things for shipping, but you know, maybe I did get a canner. That's a whole different deal. Okay, so cap off. I called mine Pinky in the Grain after Pinky in the Brain. I thought that was kind of funny, but okay. Mine came out a little bit high ABV at about 6.8. I milled the grains twice and efficiency was higher than I expected. So the base beer itself was pretty good. I added 2 ounces of the True Citrus Crystallized Strawberry at kegging for a 2.5 gallon batch. I'll spoiler that turned out to be way too much. Just taking the cap off of here, I can already smell strawberry. So smell is very closely tied with memory. And I grew up in Nebraska, and our next door neighbor, when I was growing up, had this huge strawberry patch in their front yard, tiered with bricks, round stuff. And so I just remember playing in the neighborhood, and always that was kind of a feature of that house, and we'd always have fresh strawberries that they would give us. So this does not smell like that at all. This smells more like if I wanted strawberry quick, and at least, you know, in the 70s, it came in a metal can, and invariably it would get kind of crusted shut, and you'd have to pry the thing open with a knife. And you know what strawberry quick smells like? That's kind of what this smells like. So not supernatural, very strong, just even opening, I could smell it from here. But let's pour it and see what we got going on. Okay, so not a lot of head. In fact, no head. Little, I mean, you can, I don't know if you can see this on the camera so much, but there's bubbles coming up. So there's some carbonation, a little bit of head, but you know, not great marks for that. Color-wise, let me do this and maybe a little bit of nucleation going on. Color-wise, you know, it's kind of medium golden. I don't see any pink, which I guess maybe isn't to be expected with that product, since it's not, you know, the stuff itself is pink, but it was, you know, didn't impart a lot of color to the beer that I can discern. But, you know, not an unpleasant color. It's probably a little bit dark darker than it should be, but I'm not mad at the color. Aroma, again, it's just like super fake strawberry smelling, I guess is the best way to put it. If you, it just put your nose in a can of Strawberry Quick, and that's what it smells like. So, yeah, that's about all I can say about that. I smell no hops. I smell no beer. It's just Strawberry Quick. Let's taste it and see how this goes. Yeah, it's so I haven't had this beer in a couple of months. It's very tart. I'd say astringent and not pleasant. It's the best way to put it. It's not horrible. It's not repulsive, but it is not good. I think, several mistakes were made, but I think where I really went wrong is I should not have. So the reason that I used 2 ounces of the True Citrus product is because the recommendation on the package was, 4 ounces in a 5-gallon batch. Okay, I'll use 2 ounces in a 2.5-gallon batch. Way too much, way too much. And I've talked to some other people who use the lemon sometimes, and I think they say like 1 ounce in a 5-gallon batch. So I probably should have used like a half to 1 ounce at the most. So this is at least double the amount of strawberry product that should be in here. So that kind of wrecked, it kind of bums me out because the base beer was actually, I thought, came out pretty well. It was, again, high on the ABV for what we were shooting for, but it came out pretty well. And this just overpowers anything else going on in this beer, and it just tastes like, like, not even like, well, I guess the closest thing is Strawberry Quick, but it doesn't taste as pleasant as Strawberry Quick. I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to finish it because it's not pleasant enough to make it worth it. I guess, on the plus side, what I learned here is, number one, don't guess and add, a product you've never used before at a pretty, what turned out to be high volume until you know what you're doing. I should have added it gradually and started small. But you know how that goes. I just made a bad call on that front. The product itself, it's hard for me to say if the True Citrus Crystallized Strawberry, hard for me to say if it's good or not. It might be interesting to try it again. I don't know that I will because I don't have any motivation probably. Maybe sometime in the future I'll have motivation to try strawberry again. It'd be interesting to try it like, a half to 1 ounce in a 5-gallon batch or something like that to see if it's more natural tasting or just adds a little bit of subtle strawberry. I don't know that I would use it over extract, but that's a whole nother thing. If I was really into strawberry beers, there'd be some experimenting to do here. I am not. I'm not the one to do it. I would say if you are going to try this product, use very little to start because it's pretty strong. And this, just didn't work. But again, celebrate your failures, right? So what I learned from this is, number one, I have started making 5-gallon batches of beer, so I never run out. And I'll talk about, kind of the various upgrades going on in the brewery. There's been several that have kind of derailed brewing for a little while. Number two, number one, make bigger batches. Number two, I've gotten a cannular canner, and I got one of those cool new Kegland can and bottle fillers. I'll get that rolling here. I'm waiting for a tabletop, whole different story, to kind of put it in its spot. But anyway, and then the big thing, though, is if you are going to try these True Citrus products, start very, very small because they're way stronger than I thought they were going to be, and the recommendation on the bag was way off the mark for this particular beer. So that's review number one. It can only go up from here. I'll have one more sip just to punish myself. Yeah. It's flat, it's astringent, it's tart, and it tastes like chemicals. So I guess that kind of sums up beer number one. And I apologize to my fellow Brewtubers. This is not my best foot forward by any means. I will get some better beers going and try to redeem myself with future beer mails out to the club members. So that's it for this one. That's about all there is to say. Look for future I can't remember how many people participated, but you're going to see several of these experiment reviews, and I'm looking forward to trying some of the others because I'm pretty excited about what some of the other club members did. So I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.